Hi, this is Fang Sane, and it's getting really exciting actually. We've got the final Glory War happening, which was assigned the final ranking of the season coming up. Um, it's um, it's a very spicy meatballs happening right now. So let's just say that most of S50 did not actually get to choose the people that they wanted to actually fight. CJH is not fighting anybody, which is we're actually really happy about because they're going to act as basically a support clan, just hopping around, helping people, placing their AC around, being able to help defend different alliances, right? So ZS1 is against Legacy 52. L4T is against Arcax. That's going to be a really tough fight. War Apes is against not Clan. Again, very tough fight that we have ahead of us. Um, Nyx got off really lucky because they got to actually choose, and they chose H4A. Joel did not get to choose. We got picked by KIX from S56. Um, I do not know who TDF is fighting because that's in server 56. I was going to choose this clan. I'm not going to say that name because I'm going to absolutely get slapped by YouTube if I do. Um, GER is... Who are they fighting? I don't even know if Dragon told me who they're fighting. No, she didn't tell me who they're fighting. Okay, I asked, but she didn't tell me. Okay, so I am going to be hopping over to Arcax and assisting them to the best of my ability. Um, Given the fact that I am a top 10 player in S50, so I am going to try to help them against L4T. How well that goes, I don't know. Because L4T has Owl, which I will show here, and he is a very strong player. So, Trupa I actually know about because I used to know him back when he was in another server. I forgot what server he used to be in. I think it was either server 60 or 61 or something. I forgot what it was. But I knew Trupa from before. Um, he transferred over to 55 apparently. I forgot if he was in 56 or 60. But thing is that he transferred to 55. I knew him from all the way back then. And then now he's underneath Owl right now. Um, Owl is probably one of the more... Sorry, messing up what I'm saying. Owl is probably one of the more difficult players that we can possibly fight against from server 55. There's a few key players that are actually very difficult to fight against. Owl is one of them. Um, I think the three biggest problems that we're going to have is Gilgamesh. I can't pronounce a Korean player's name here. And Owl. The other players are potentially going to cause a problem, but Owl having... If he is online, he has the biggest possible uh, pressure that he can really push onto you. So he is... His main formation pretty much is as strong as maybe half my players doing a rally, right? Like 5 players doing a 10 instead of a 10-player rally, just 5 of them filling it up. He is as strong as that. So he could basically single-handedly slap a structure and do a decent number on that structure. So I am very well aware of how strong Owl is. It's so biggest fights are going to be definitely Legacy 52 fighting against the ZS1. I don't think Jasper told me about when his fight is going to be. I might have forgotten. He did not tell me. I would have watched this if he did tell me, because that would have been a pretty exciting fight. The other one that is trying to find this here. Sorry. Where is SHS on the list? Okay, there we go. SHS is going to be fighting 404R. This is also a very tough battle. The reason why I say that is because SHS just got a merger. It was a much needed merger, but here's the problem. Out of all of the players here, I think that they would need 3 of the players to put on the pressure against Calico. Sweet is not strong enough by herself. Chaotic is not strong enough by himself. Sergio is not strong enough by himself. RKS is not strong enough by himself. So pick any 3 of the 4. Dark Side is okay, but I don't think his main formation is developed enough right now in order to do this. And they all would need to go hammer against that AC1. The reason why I say that is because Calico is only marginally weaker than me. Calico is not even the strongest player in 404R. Drakeo is also stronger than Calico. And I'm not even just saying that from overall power score. I mean, I fought him, and I do not want to ever fight him again because it's too difficult to actually loot him. I tried to loot him, and I've tried to rally to loot him. And if he wasn't reinforced, I think it would be possible, but because he was reinforced, it's just too much of a troop loss. But I can imagine that with him plus Calico, with a whole bunch of other players reinforcing AC1, SHS needs to be very prepared to overflow their hospital, because they are not going to be able to heal fast enough. And if they're willing to take those losses, they can easily hit like top 20. If they're not willing to hit those losses, then it's going to be a really tough loss. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just stating it as I see it. They could have an overall lower power score as an alliance, which is true. But in terms of like who has stronger formations, just individually, Calico and Drakeo definitely have. I could be pronouncing his name wrong, please. I'm not trying to mispronounce his name. I'm hoping I pronounce his name correctly. Chaotic will have a tough time. Sweet would have a tough time. RKS will have a tough time. Sergio would have a tough time. Darkseid would have a tough time. I can see them winning underneath a few circumstances. If most of SHS is online at that time, and they don't focus on a rally-only strategy, they can win. I mention this because of a few things I want to actually go over. I know that not many people actually watch my videos, and that is understandable. I'm not exactly a well-established YouTuber. You know what? There's probably better people to watch instead of like good old Fang saying. That's fine. You used to be able to do multiple rallies on an AC1. They nerfed this strategy. So in case anyone ever tries to do this again, keep this in mind. This is no longer possible unless they haven't updated in your server yet, which is fine. I don't know if every single server received this update. But in server 50, in server 56, 52, 55, none of us are able to do a multi-rally strategy anymore. That means that the most effective strategies are one of two things. You can do purely a swarm-based strategy in order to completely overwhelm your opponent, but this will have a lot of injured troops just heading towards the AC-1. So this would just be a meat grinder strategy, and this is actually a very efficient strategy. I have done this in the past. This would just make you lose a lot of troops as well. So you will win with the strategy if you are prepared for the losses. I lost in a single glory war with this strategy more than 8,000 troops by myself. I am not including any of the other members that participated, but from my understanding when I talked with them, the majority of them lost 8,000 or more troops with this strategy. So this is a good strategy. This is a strategy that will help you win, but this is a very high loss strategy. There is one other strategy, well, two other strategies that are able to be implemented. A multi-rally strategy cannot be implemented anymore. But there's a catch. What if you're not rallying multiple times? What if, instead, and I'll provide more information on this on my Patreon, and on possibly a 3 video I would make about masteries as a brief overview, but I am not going to talk necessarily about builds on this video. I'm not going to go over anything super in detail on a high level about this. So if I do go on a high level about this, this will probably be more towards my Patreon. I will talk about some minor subjects about builds, probably in a future video. This is a good strategy. For a 3 teleport, that is good. But it's not the absolute game changer. The absolute game changer would be this. Rapid Strike. You're not technically doing multiple rallies at the same time. You are instead doing a single rally, hitting the AC-1, and as long as your allies are quick enough, smart enough to do this, joining the next rally and having it depart almost instantaneously within the course of a few seconds. This will prevent your enemy from actually being able to basically get their bearings together in time. Because the second that their troops are sent out of the AC-1, they need time to be able to either heal and then resend, or simply resend the troops back into the AC-1. If you do this 5 times from a single player and other players also have Rapid Strike, this can be a very devastating strategy and a very effective strategy. However, if someone isn't able to do Rapid Strike, let's say that you ran out of Rapid Strikes, or you never really invested into Rapid Strike. Is there a different type of thing that you could do? Yes, there is. The number one thing that you should always get on the combat tree is a Glorious Commander. The plus 10% troop damage during Glory War is something that can change the course of the entire war. Because this does not just affect you on the defensive. This affects you on the offensive. So this means whether or not you're reinforcing the AC or attacking the AC, you're still getting that plus 10% increased troop damage. So that means that if you rally of a single rally, and let's say the majority of the people attacking with you all have this as well, they're all getting a plus 10% damage buff. They send a swarm with your rally. The rally breaks through the AC-1, and while the rally is attacking the AC-1, your swarm then also goes in on the offensive to attack the AC-1. So this is also a very effective strategy, and this helps in terms of, think of it as, if we're talking about modern day, or not even modern day, just basic warfare, it's like a wedge strategy, right? The rally would sponge, it would hit the AC-1, everyone's focused on trying to take down the rally. Your swarm is then able to then go in for the kill. So I am not going to try to go super in depth in detail on our strategy, because I feel like if I did, I don't know if server 55, 52, 56 is watching this video. I am only giving you a minor piece of advice in terms of what you should be doing in a future Glory War just in case. But what I will mention is that I am going to show what we're going to be doing inside the Glory War later on during the day. I don't want to provide too much information about our strategy. I am not going to provide too much information about what I'm going to do on the defensive. I will show what we're going to be doing later on in another video. But I don't want to expose it before the Glory War happens. Because if I do, that's kind of like exposing the whole point of, a hush-hush strategy should kind of remain hush-hush until it's needed, right? But I will teach a lot of the players a few things. I had a few requests from some players inside the server. They told me that they knew players from later servers that are like in the numbers of the 600s. They want to know how to, like, that I should try to teach players in early servers about hero builds, which heroes that I have my own personal opinion on, which ones I think that are worth purchasing, which ones I would say that I wouldn't touch at all. And I would explain my reasoning behind each one. I will give a more detailed and high-level breakdown in my Patreon, just because it does help me in terms of the long run. And I do, in simple terms, need a bit of the financial assistance at this point. So, hey, if you guys want to have like a detailed breakdown on that and you guys want me to make a video on it, I can. It's just that $2 sub would really help me out, right? The other thing that I am going to go over as well in detail in the future is how to build a farm, because I did have a few players reach out to me and say they don't know how to build a farm. How can they build the farm? How can they build it correctly? What should they do? What would break the farm if they do something on the farm and ruin the build? What is good about a high level farm? What is good about a low level farm? Why do you want to have a lower level farm as an example? I am going to have that as a part of a two-parter. A build that works in a farm and a build that you should never do if you're going to do as a main account but works on a farm. The reason why I want to have this as a two-parter is because I know that some people might misinterpret what I actually teach them to build a farm that will help them level the farm quickly, and they will attempt to try to implement everything I teach them on that onto an actual new account. This is not what I want them to do, misinterpreting what I basically am trying to explain on a farm, which will ruin a build on a main. So I will go over that in a future video. I am just going to be super busy on Glory War. I'm going to make a few videos about Glory War later today. So I'll try to figure out what video I'm going to do after Glory War. I'm just kind of a lot's on my mind right now with the Glory War, so I can't really think about which video I'm going to drop first. But when I decide about which video I'm going to drop first, I will definitely upload that and then I'll categorize it in my Patreon. as well as a part of its collection. Um, I will also upload it here on YouTube, but I'll probably add it as a part of the collection on Patreon later. But since it's available on YouTube, if it's uploaded for free, it's here, right? I'll make a more premium take on that probably later on in terms of like a full breakdown, which will contain a lot more information. But if some of the people here don't see the free videos immediately uploaded on Patreon, there's a reason for that. It's because if it's here, I link my YouTube channel to my Patreon, so someone can easily check to see what's available for free. It's more of the premium stuff that I keep on Patreon along with the screenshots. So there are screenshots about builds for HQs on my Patreon as well. Level building requirement for each level all the way until 35, I believe. I also have information regarding a basic rundown on basic unlocks for early research. I will also provide a bit more insight later on. The more subscribers I get on Patreon, the more I'm going to release, right? So that's why I'm more focused on the YouTube channel right now at the moment. But I will provide more details later on. I hope that everyone enjoys the rest of the day. I will upload more about that Glory War later. I just want to kind of provide an insight about the direction I'm taking in terms of the YouTube channel, so then everyone kind of has an idea about what type of content is to be expected in the future, because that way everyone kind of has expectations about what I'm going to do for you guys, right? Um, and have a great day and have a great evening, and hope that everybody enjoys the coming Glory War.